jump in and join the club and float this Whiskey River reservoir. We're gonna spend the weekend in the deep end of a diving ball.
Peekaboo. Peekaboo.
Good morning.
Peekaboo.
We're playing peekaboo now?
Hi, Stevie. How are you?
Oh, you're muted.
You're muted. You're muted. You're still muted.
I had my YouTube going in the background. Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, chat. Sirius. She was first, or they were first in over on the Roar Media Live, and Barbara Bartleson was the first in over on the Natural Progressive. I gotta say, hey, Shayar, good to see you. And Holly Horn. We have Al Walski, Vermont, checking in with 3 inches overnight snow. Is that 3 inches or 3 feet? And God, who else do we got over there? I know
Jilly's without power.
Jilly's without power. How do you flush without power? Is that? Oh no, it's still mechanical some places. That modern technology kills me. Yeah, Barbara.
Good morning, Kim.
Yeah, Kim. Oh my God, Kim over there.
So, did you guys catch the show last night? We had a blast last night. What'd you think? I had fun.
Yeah, that was a great live stream. I could tell everybody was having fun. Good conversation.
I had fun. I think, Kit and Allie, very nice people, very, very thoughtful people with all the passion and everything. I'll go off the rails, but Kit kept his composure. He was passionate.
But amazing.
Yeah, it's that sincere stuff. It's not that bullshit stuff. And that was really nice. So
it's not like an Anna Kasparian rant.
Oh my God. Yeah. By the way, everybody, Convo Couch just dropped a little poo flinging session over there on the Convo Couch about a minute ago, and they're going to talk about that dust up yesterday with Ryan Grimm and Anna Kasparian, and I don't know why they put Sam Sneeder in there. I just what the hell? So I know. Barf bag, Shanda.
Barf bag, barf bag.
Anyway, we got Jen Psaki again. Jen Psaki. This is a twofer, right? Twice in less than a week. So yeah, you wanna talk to that a little bit while I get the next card up?
Jen, where did Jen come from? She was trained up in Hillary Clinton's State Department as the State Department spokeswoman. So she is amazing at avoidance, sidestepping, not actually answering the questions. She don't walk out to that podium unless she knows what the hell she's going to say about every single point.
I agree. We're gonna be touching on that, but I just wanted to throw this one up as a little teaser. The Daily Beast exclusive: Biden's communications staff have already probed. Why did they use that word? Probed reporters to see what questions they plan on asking while White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki during briefings. It's a little small. According to the 3 sources and written communications reviewed by the Daily Beast. Now, I just want to tell you, the Daily Beast, who runs the Daily Beast? That would be Clinton's daughter, right? Chelsea, that's Chelsea. Yeah, I think last I heard she's on the board. If not, well, she is. And Graham Elwood, of course, says, "Yay! Now we're getting lied to by a redhead rather than Trump's blonde-haired diversity." This is going to be great. We're going to cut into this pretty soon, but I just wanted to prep everybody for that. But the good news, Stevie. Here's the good news. Doctors just found an even scarier new coronavirus infection. So. What is this one? Is this like 6? I don't know.
I hear so many.
Yeah, I just this one was in Australia. Yeah, I think it was in Australia. I didn't cut to the link, but they've got an even spicier one out there. So these mutations are going to continue. Don't think they're not, and they don't know how to knock them down. So if somebody does find out, let me know. Is this the report here, Shanda? Yeah.
So this is Pfizer's profit report from this morning.
Oh, it's not the effectiveness of their virus vaccine.
They don't care about the effectiveness.
Oh, it's the effective profit. Okay, exactly. Let's see if we got that.
Pfizer just out with quarterly results and want to get over straight to Meg Terrell right now because she has the numbers. Meg.
Hey, Andrew. Well, let's start with the fourth quarter. Pfizer reporting adjusted EPS just 6 cents light of estimates, 42 cents on an adjusted basis versus analysts' 48-cent consensus estimate. Revenue was a beat, $11.68 billion versus the estimate of $11.43 billion. Now, the company raising its full-year guidance for earnings from just a couple weeks ago, now by 10 cents due to changes in its COVID vaccine revenue forecast. Now, for that vaccine, they are breaking out guidance for 2021 because it will have such an outsized impact on results. Pfizer is forecasting $15 billion in revenue from its COVID vaccine this year.
Yeah, 15 billion. That's all they're set to make with this.
Yeah,
I was like, did I hear that right? What? $15 billion, right?
$15 billion.
that's profit.
That's motive.
No, that's pure profit, not gross profit, right? Because gross profit, you have to take out all the payoffs and bribes. So that's pure profit. Anyway, aren't you both happy that Pfizer's going to make 15 billion, or are you disappointed it's not 20 or 30?
I mean, stock prices are good, so that's all we could really ask for. I mean, as long as that's good, I don't need to pay my electric bill.
No.
Are we diminished this much to where we're looking at Pfizer's P&Ls, and are we looking at, like I got slapped with, Biden's done more in the last week than Trump did in his whole presidency bullshit. The bar's been set in the ground for just about everything, and now everybody's taking the bait. I agree. It's cray-cray.
I mean, the only thing that I've seen that he's done is put in a mask mandate, right, which was already in place, and they took the death count ticker off of CNN. So, I mean, other than that, I don't think that he's done anything much different.
Well,
yeah.
Not that I've heard, at least.
Yeah. Go ahead, Shannon.
Well, today he's going to address immigration, from what we're hearing, and so we'll see. What's he going to do that was any different than Obama or Trump?
Well, I had somebody suffering from TDS tell me last night, Biden's done so much compared to Trump. He's reversed family separation policies, the transgender military ban, rejoined the World Health Organization, rescinded Muslim bans, and restored the White House Directorate for Global Health Security. That's great. Now, what about healthcare? What about jobs? What about actual climate? What about the things that are going to affect the people here in this country that are living on the streets? I mean, people are buying this crap that Biden's just their Jesus Christ, Lord and Savior on these issues that are frankly a no-brainer. Sure, roll back all the bad shit as far as policy with the Trump administration, but when are you going to do something about something instead?
Well, I wasn't against us leaving the WHO. We were the number one funder of the WHO under Bill Gates, and their science rolling out on this COVID was a fucking nightmare. They weren't advising anybody not to travel. They weren't advising anybody to wear a mask. I mean, we were probably in March or April before they were even talking about coming up with a plan, even though they keep doing all of these simulations leading up to it, but they still couldn't figure it out. I don't think it's a good thing that we are now the number one funder of the WHO again.
Stevie, isn't this manufactured consent on steroids? Isn't that what this is?
Yeah, I mean, I think Shandy, you said it perfectly, but I mean, other than that, it's just especially with Biden, it's just all we're getting is the feel good stories. Like, okay, well now transgendered people can now go and fight in our for-profit wars. Like, doesn't that make you feel all warm and fuzzy now?
Yeah.
He's a good president,
Equality.
I mean, he's going to get rid of the cages that he built?
Yeah, that's yeah, the cages. Why hasn't he just signed the executive order yet on that? I mean, people have been screaming about that this week. Oh, you're doing all this great stuff about rolling back all the Trump stuff. What about these kids that are in cages, dude? Wouldn't that be number one in my book or your book?
Well, he did sign an executive order this morning to fund reunification of some of these kids, which that's a good thing, but I didn't hear a word about the cages.
No, I think the reunification, whatever that boils down to, yeah, if that's in the good direction, that's good. I'm glad. But give him a minute, Shanda. Damn it. He's only been in there for
Give
2
him a
weeks.
minute.
Give him a minute.
I
We'll
had to
see.
learn how to write his name.
Yeah, we will see. We will see. And I have to say, Shanda, this Beetlejuice, this Oz Beetlejuice, this is my favorite.
It's a hit. Everybody loves it.
That's me. That is me. I love Beetlejuice. Anyway, we got Amy here. What is she harping on today?
Oh, this one pissed me off. Kit and Heartland's Media covered this yesterday. This is Buffalo, New York, where police officers maced a 9-year-old child in the face.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, I wanted to talk about it last night, but I didn't want everybody exploding on screen. Here we go.
Viewers, the following story contains disturbing footage of police violence. In Rochester, New York, one police officer has been suspended and 2 officers placed on administrative leave pending an internal investigation after body camera video showed them handcuffing and pepper spraying a 9-year-old girl. The video, taken last Friday, shows the officers pressing the girl face down into the snow as she cries out for her father. One officer says, "You're acting like a child," to which she responds, "I am a child." When the girl refuses to sit in the back of a patrol car, an officer pepper sprays her in the face. Rochester Police Union President Mike Mezzo on Sunday defended the officer's actions.
He made a decision there that he thought was the best action to take. It resulted in her no injury to her.
Rochester Mayor Lovely Warren said Monday state law and a police union contract prevented her from taking stronger action against the officers. She said the incident had left her community rattled.
So this ripped my heart out when I saw it yesterday. I actually had to compose myself because I have a 9-year-old grandchild who has had a lot of issues. She's had a hard life. She's been in and out of the foster system. And when she doesn't know how to deal with her emotions. And so if something happens to her that she doesn't know how to express, she will freak out like this. There has been times where the police have came to my daughter's house because she is pitching the biggest royal fit in the world. And I'm the only person that can calm her down, reach her, and get her to calm down. These cops couldn't use any logic or reason to try to calm her down. Like, here, let's sit down, calm down, we're not taking you to jail. Let's talk about this. If they just attack her like that, make her go face first into the snow and then throw her in the back of a cop car, of course she's going to freak out.
Yeah, I mean, nothing will make you calm down faster than being harassed, arrested, and brutalized by cops.
What about her rights? Where was her rights?
She's 9. I mean,
She's 9.
there's nothing. There is nothing that girl could have done for that, to call for that. She's a child. A child.
You're acting like a child.
And the thing is, it's like, oh, do you feel like a big man now that you took down the 9-year-old girl?
Right.
You feel real strong. I bet you feel real good about yourself. I mean, is there a pregnant woman that you're going to go and beat up to, make yourself feel better?
Right.
Like, next, you want to go kick a puppy? I mean, how, and to come out there and defend, I mean, I don't know what's worse, that guy or the guy that watched and said, yeah, well, I mean, that looks good.
The spokesperson, the spokes thing that at the end there.
Yeah.
Now,
Yes.
yeah, they said now this child was not injured. Did I mishear that? I think she's pretty damn injured. 9 years old for the rest of her life. She had a gang of military dressed thugs shoving her face into the ground and spraying. I think that's a pretty big injury, don't you?
I do.
Physically and mentally.
Yeah, that's probably the worst. Now, that guy would probably say to you and me that, well, what would you have done, smartass, if you'd been there? I was just sitting here thinking, what would I have done? I would have called for some professionals that handle children immediately, and if they
Mom,
couldn't come,
dad, family.
I think they could have done a lot of less invasive damaging things to that little girl. I mean, was she trying to get away? Did they just want to surround her and try and keep her calm till somebody got there that could handle that particular situation? No, we're going to shove her face first, head in the snow, and then we're going to pepper spray her. I don't think so. I just, I was
outrageous. And this is why we keep calling to defund the police. It's,
Yeah.
They need training. This is another example of a lack of fucking training.
Yeah. And defunding the police in instances that this is going on, they need to be funded in the sense of training, I believe. So we're not out to get rid of a law enforcement force. We're out to get a better enforcement of laws, reform. So that defund the police, that's a tough one because people take it all wrong, in my opinion. Well, anyway, that was horrible. Let's get to Jen Psaki. And you know what, Shanda, you brought this, right? Is this?
Go ahead and hit play.
All right, I'll hit play. I'm a little slow this morning, people, so I'm sorry. I didn't have my glutathione on. Okay.
It seems more and more likely that Democrats will push through the Biden administration's nearly $2 trillion economic relief package, with or without Republicans. The president met with a group of Senate Republicans for about 2 hours in the Oval Office yesterday to pitch their much smaller $600 billion package. But the message from the White House is that it doesn't meet the moment. Senator Susan Collins said the meeting was very productive and cordial. But when it comes to striking a compromise, the sides are far apart. And the White House says the president will not delay aid to try and win Republican support. Democrats on the Hill have already started the process that would allow a bill to pass without Republican support. Yesterday, before the meeting, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki was asked exactly what the president considers bipartisan.
Would you consider a bill bipartisan if it doesn't have any Republican support in Congress, but it has, support among Republican voters?
Well, I think you touched on an interesting point, which is that 74% of the public, according to recent polls, supports this package and the key components of this package. Democrats and Republicans. We just saw the Republican governor of West Virginia come out earlier today and advocate for a big package. When the president talks about unifying the country and bringing the country together, he's not suggesting that he is going to make one party out of the Democratic and Republican parties in Congress. But he is meeting with Republicans today, 10 Republicans who have sent this letter, because he feels they made a good faith effort to put the top lines of a proposal forward, and he wants to have that engagement and encourages that of sharing of ideas.
So I have a prediction.
Go ahead. Joey had to interrupt you.
Joe. Okay, I'm not going to say that. I can't stand Joe. I think he's a murderer.
Yeah, me too.
I do. That really needs to be researched and looked into. But I think that the Democrats are going to cave, and they'll do it in the course of unity and
bipartisanship.
Yeah. So they're going to come in way under. They'll probably come in right about where the Republicans want them to.
Stevie, what do you think?
I think that this is, they're talking about bipartisanship, and, we had a nice cordial meeting with the Republicans, because you remember a couple of months ago when they did that for the Democrats, right? I mean, they have complete control of everything right now. And right now they should be just throwing everything they can in there healthcare, bumping up the living wage. Doing everything that they can while they're in control. But this goes to show, just like they had the chance back when Obama first got in office, that they won't do anything. And why? What's the boogeyman excuse this time? Yeah. Or is it just bipartisanship? And if you're being cordial with the people that were sitting there and talking about supposedly an insurrection, right? These are the big bad people that they were so angry at, and they're the reason why that you can't have anything, and you're being cordial with them. This is not. These aren't. None of them should be cordial with each other.
We didn't put him in there to play patty cake. We put him in there to fight for the public, the people. And, the Republican Party is obviously they're going to fight for the business class, period, while succouring their poor base. So, yeah, this bipartisanship is code for fuck you guys. We're going to do what we want. And that's just the way it is. And if anybody wants to argue that point, I encourage them to piss off. That's.
I mean, and the fact that our governor, Jim Justice.
Oh, yeah, Jim.
I was going to ask you. He's
been getting a lot of good press lately from not only Cal Kalinske, but I'm seeing in a few different places. I'm just like, this is the same man that goes and poisons people here, lets them die from cancer, keeps other industries out, so we are forced into poverty and into drug addictions and all these other things. He is a Trump 2.0 when it comes to his business practices. And yet, for some reason, people just think that he's the greatest, getting praised for his vaccine rollout.
That's what I was going to say.
There's a maskless New Year's Eve party. So, I mean, which is it? Does he believe in it or not? So the guy's a total sack of garbage.
No, he's capitalizing on the mask fear vaccine. Everybody, you better do it shit. We heard that out here in the Pacific Northwest. Oh, Jim Justice, he's force vaccinating everybody in that state. So all you little peons, you're going to take this vaccination whether you want it or not. So, and I have different views on that. And I am not, I don't think that's in a good light. And we need to talk to Brother Kyle about that because he shouldn't be elevating Jim Justice. If anybody deserves less, that would be him, I think. So,
yeah.
I don't know. Can I say a shout out? I want to say hi. We had some more people join in over the Natural Progressive Roar. Poppy Davis. Hi, Poppy. Oz Whistles. CB Unglesby. CB Unglesby. How you doing? I never get your last name right because I'm just a dope. But, and Vermont Smith. Vermont Bread Smith. God, you got a friend up there, Al Walski, Vermont Bread Smith, and Moti Bai, and I already said hi, Sharyar, anyway, and we've got over there E. Heller, and Mrs. Carter. Hello, Mrs. Carter. Good to see you. Yeah. A dingo ate me, baby. Love that name. I'll never get tired of that name. And let's see, J9 Campbell. 10 cops to brutalize a child. Hashtag ACAB and abolish the police. Yes, J9 Campbell, we are so with you 100%. I think I've got everybody now. Caitlin Johnstone. This is, again, and this is where Oz is going to have to mea culpa, I guess. Everything about the Biden administration is fake. A new exclusive from the Daily Beast titled White House Reporters, Biden team wanted our questions in advance. Reporters that the White House, So they want this. So Caitlin Johnstone says everything about the Biden administration is fake. So this is just one more item on the steadily growing pile of fake things about this administration.
Fake news.
Everything about it's phony. This is the AstroTurf administration, and I think she nails it there. And I've got to say, I've told you before, they get these questions in advance. One way or another, that's my mea culpa, one way or another. They are just blatantly asking for them now. And Shanda and I have talked about this. Jen Psaki and Nazi Barbie, they have a book, and that book has got tabs in it. And I was telling Shanda this morning, Jen Psaki's just good at anticipating the questions, much better than Nazi Barbie was, because we could see Nazi Barbie flipping through her book on the talking points.
Right.
Now,
Jen's got them memorized.
Yeah. Jen, she's a sharp CIA asset. Oh, did I say that? But yeah, they have a book, and their people figure out, or they get the questions from reporters before the meeting. So that's why they go so well and so smoothly with propaganda and bullshit. Do you guys want to argue with me on that one?
It goes to the Truth Ministry, it goes through them, and then it gets sent out. And it's all made up.
If they want to come back and ask more questions, if they want that access, they better ask the right questions.
Bingo.
Right.
That's exactly right. If you don't play ball, you get Helen Thomas to the stars. And that's just what it is. So, yes, I will double down and say they get the questions ahead of time. They just don't care. They're asking for them now. When you have a press corps, the press is supposed to ask you the questions. You're supposed to think on your feet and give a reasonable response. Whether it's good or bad, you better do that. But don't candy coat these things or be leading on these. The Gravel Institute. Go ahead.
You got it?
No, you got
real
it.
person actually cares if the stimulus bill is bipartisan. They care if they can't afford food and rent at the end of the month.
No shit. And all this feel-good stuff rolling back to Obama era stuff. Yeah, okay, go ahead, do that. But it didn't work out so well for the 2016 campaign. Yeah.
I just had Miss Carter over on my channel, and I interviewed her about the Gravel Institute's or Gravel Institute's direct democracy plan, which is amazing. And
I'll check it out.
She has a petition if you want to sign it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can find the link and post it.
Thank you, Mrs. Carter. We appreciate that. Anything.
Yeah, she's been working hard on it.
Yeah, and Kit, when Kit said you guys need to keep fighting, he's talking about all of you, Mrs. Carter, everybody here. We need to keep fighting. We cannot let down, because that's how change happens. Now, our friend Sauger, I mean, probably more friends with Shanda.
Your friend Sauger.
Our friend Sauger had some words of wisdom this morning, and I don't want to be a complete dick when it comes to Sauger. I think he lives in a very sheltered bubble reality, but I kind of appreciated this because the truths here are pretty basic, and I think everybody should hear them from Sauger.
Here on the show, Trump will very much be a king maker in American politics for a long time to come. The kings that he's going to make are people who are undyingly loyal to him and to him alone, willing to follow him into the land of Dominion conspiracy. And as long as Marjorie Taylor Greene is one of the few people who's not only willing to just do that, but to go as far as she possibly can, she will win her primaries. Yeah. She will probably be 10 times more popular with the Republican base than Mitch McConnell ever will be. I think it's really interesting to see how it's going to play out in the coming months. Because let's say they do censor her, or remove her committee assignments. I think then that she's probably going to win even more votes down in her deep red district than she did last time around. And will probably become even more popular. And let's be honest, it's not like a lot of these people, a lot of these GOP reps, like her in particular, they're not doing committee work anyway.
That's correct.
You know, like all they're doing is tweeting out statements and going on TV, or in her case, like Twitter streams or whatever. So it's not a real consequence. I mean, they're doing her a favor in many respects.
Kind of like
she doesn't even have to
AOC.
pretend to work.
Exactly.
You don't think she's a valuable member of the education committee?
Yeah, I'm just like, I mean, most of these people are like, look, this isn't just Marjorie. Like, most of these people are totally useless at doing anything. Like, you can count on one hand the amount of serious people who are within the U.S. Congress who like actually do
anything.
Oh my God. He's right, though. He's absolutely right.
Yeah, he is. He's absolutely right. And he's probably going to get in trouble for saying that.
Well, now we'll get a competent fascist is what's going to happen.
That's what it is. You got a competent press secretary. You got not so competent president. I just, oh my God in heaven. And this, this whole thing here, again, we know this. Don't be a sucker. Don't set the bar so low for this administration where you lose all your objectivity, because they are more interested in bipartisan controlling their base and making sure both sides have the power they've always had, and we're all chumps. So once again, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so cynical, you guys. I can't help it.
Can't help it.
Yeah. This is yours.
So AOC describes taking shelter during the Capitol siege. I thought I was going to die. Katie Porter recounts how she and AOC hid in her office during the January 6th insurrection riot. I'm a mom. I'm calm. I have everything we need. We could live here for a month in this office. And she said, I hope I get to be a mom. I hope I don't die today. And Ilhan Omar says, y'all stop invalidating AOC's experience because you aren't hearing about the experiences from other members. Everyone deals with trauma differently. Her stories are validating for so many of us with similar experiences, and she is showing people that she is vulnerable in strength.
Stevie, come on.
Man, I don't even know. I can't even put anything past her anymore. I mean, she is just so, it's all about her and her feelings and her safety. And she wants to sit there behind her keyboard and pretend like she's this big bad warrior when she's calling out people on Twitter. But then when she gets in her office, like where did all that go? Where did all that energy go, AOC? You know, and there she wants to fight. And I couldn't care less if she's afraid of her life, because she's not willing to fight for health care.
Right.
When people are really dying from that. And she's afraid of the Al-Qaeda that's in the Capitol.
Yeah, the Al-Qaeda, and the Marjorie Q. Greens. I mean, really?
Hello, man.
Oh.
Raccoon Boy. That's yeah.
Chewbacca. Yeah.
So I brought a little clip of her video from last night. It dropped this morning on NBC, and it's being ratioed. That's the next slide.
Yeah, and you know what? There's the whole interview was an hour and 29 minutes long. So she got to harp on that. And I will say, she lost all credibility with me as far as knowing what violence is when she called Jimmy Dore inciting violence or calling violence when he called her a sellout. And now she's in a situation where they've got all the Secret Service in there and they're hiding in a room. And sure, they don't know what's going on outside. Okay, I'll give them that. But really, show some courage. And this after the fact stuff, I highly question. So here we go, Shanda.
Well, so this kind of, I mean, she starts out talking about how she was fearing for her life, but then she goes into some PTSD, traumatic flashback of a time that she was sexually assaulted. So somehow she made the insurrection riot personal about a sexual attack on her.
Well, obviously the think tank said that's a good way to go there.
Which
AOC.
I'm not going to negate. Yes, it happens to women. It happened to Tara Reid. And where were they when it happened to Tara Reid? They were destroying her life and making it 10 times worse.
And they are still continuing to do that.
Exactly.
And I stand with Tara Reid all day long, and I will not stop standing with Tara Reid.
Yep.
So anyway, here we go.
The reason I say this and the reason I'm getting emotional in this moment is because these folks who tell us to move on, that it's not a big deal, that we should forget what's happened, or even telling us to apologize, these are the same tactics of abusers. And I'm a survivor of sexual assault. And I haven't told many people that in my life.
And the Academy goes too.
But when we go through trauma compounds on each other. And so whether you had a negligent or, a neglectful parent, or whether you had someone who was verbally abusive to you, whether you are a survivor of abuse, whether you experience any sort of trauma in your life, small to large, these episodes can compound on one another. My story is not the only story, nor is it the central story. It's one of many stories of what these people did in creating this environment. And these folks who are just trying to tell us to move on are just like pulling the page. They're using the same tactics of every other abuser who just tells you to move on.
Democratic Party.
Of that man who touched you inappropriately at work, telling you
Tara
to
Reid.
move on.
How fucking disgusting is that? How disgusting?
I don't know, Shanda.
I just... she's dressed for the occasion too. She's got her hair down. She doesn't have her
no makeup.
She is dressed for the part that she is playing right now. the innocent victim, right? Oh, I'm just so fearful, and she's going to sit there and talk about trauma. Now, I'm not going to say anything about what's happened to her in the past, because if that's true, if that happened to her,
right,
that's awful. Nobody should ever have to go through that. But at the same time, you are sitting there, you're going to I'm supposed to care about her trauma, compounding trauma. Well, how about this? When somebody loses their job, and then they lose their health care, and then they lose their house, and then they lose their partner because they didn't have, they couldn't get insulin. So let's talk about that compounding trauma, right? So, but please let me just stop everything and care about her feelings.
Right.
When she have every power in the world to change everything. And if you want to get real pissed off, go to the subreddit Murdered by AOC, where it's all her tweets and everybody praising her for all the wonderful, keyboard warrior stuff that she does. And I'm like, but at the same, I'm like, she can make the changes. She's sitting there complaining about it, calling these people out. Do something about it. Do something. She doesn't do anything.
Nope, she's an actress. That's all she does. She tweets, she does her interviews. In the last picture of her, the slide before this, she had her Louis Vuitton designer mask on with the gold chain hanging off of it. Like, are you freaking kidding me? It's all about photo ops and magazine covers and whatever reality TV she can get. And that's all she is. She's a reality TV, star. We see it all the freaking time. Every week she's on Twitch or Twitter and, I'm cooking today. And then she spouts some knowledge at us as she's doing it. It's disgusting.
Oh, and you know what, where sexual assault often happens? To homeless people, homeless women.
Yeah.
And guess what she's doing? Standing by and she is putting women in that position where they are vulnerable to that, or having to be in a position where they have to, do things in order to survive. But because of what? She's too busy tweeting stuff and talking about her feelings.
Yeah, I find
so riled up. I mean,
her feelings. I mean, okay, so she was locked in a Capitol bathroom for a couple of hours. Don't forget that they were back on the Senate floor by 7:00 that night, and they didn't even take the Senate till 1:00 that day. So yeah, I understand she was scared for her life. I get that, but do we have to drag it on? No. You know what this is? This is a pre-commercial for the impeachment that's coming next week. They got to get everybody's feelings all riled up, so that way we're pissed off and we want them to go after Trump and impeach him, because don't forget that's coming in a week, and that's going to be what the clown show is going to be about for the next 2 weeks.
Oh, so that's what they're going to be busy with. So they can't pass anything for us because they're so busy taking care of that. And in the sake of bipartisanship, in order to get the Republicans to work with them on the impeachment, they'll sacrifice, the things they were going to do for us.
Exactly.
Right?
Stimulus.
God bless. They're
moratorium.
so disgusting.
Well, I'm not going to say anything because somebody will clip it and say, see, the men over there at Roar Media, they're all against the women and stuff like that.
Yeah, you're so misogynist.
Yeah,
we're not the only ones who disagree with this. She's getting ratioed on every single one of these posts that I've seen, other than the kiss asses on my Facebook who think that, she's the virgin mother's, preaching her poor life to us. Anywhere else, people realize that this is a total for show.
Well, she's the reincarnation of Jesus Nancy, and that's
she is.
That's what we're going to have with her. And I it's sad to see this go this way, because we all had these great expectations of AOC. Now, who did she work for before she ran for office? That was something I did not know.
She was Kennedy's aide. She was what? Robert Kennedy was a.
The redheaded kid. They were, and I asked myself after hearing that, I go, why would she get into politics? Because of Crowley's bad policy, or that she was an aide to a politician and she kind of liked the View?
No, she came up for this. They put the narrative out there that she was hardworking in a bar, never had thought about politics, been around politics, grew up on the block in the ghetto in New York, and the reality is, no, she grew up middle class, very well to do, went to a nice college, and yeah, she probably worked at a bar part-time, so she had some income coming in while she was out there being Senate aides and getting her foot in the pool.
Okay. I feel
Yeah, they all have their backstories like that. Bill Gates, Elon Musk, they all rich rags to riches story.
Yeah, Oh, wow, that is a big ratio. 1.3K down.
I just looked. It's 1,000 up, 1.4 down.
Wow. Bummer. Well,
mainstream media too.
Yeah.
So that's the masses.
She is going to succeed where Tulsi Gabbard refused to go. That is that's my prediction. Where Tulsi Gabbard refused to go. No matter how you feel about Tulsi Gabbard, at least she had the courage and the class of conviction to walk on the obscene corruption in the Democratic Party. And by the way, I'm not a Trumper. That's just facts. So I can't stand Trump. I can't stand the corrupt establishment Democrats. So don't even go there with me. You're out of your league. I mean, Jesus Christ. Okay, AOC bad girl. We have a fashion moment here in the middle of the dive. Can you talk about this?
That's Ricky. From Trailer Park Boys. Now, I was born in a trailer park. I lived in a trailer park my whole entire life, so I absolutely adore Trailer Park Boys. And I got to say, Ricky wore it better than Kim Kardashian.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize that was Kim Kardashian, and I saw her recently in a swimming suit. I think it was a bikini or something. Now she has something. A physical correction.
Careful there, misogynist.
Yeah, a physical correction. And when I look at this, I wish they'd show a side view, because I hear that she can just set stuff on the top of her butt. She doesn't need a backpack or anything. She can just walk around.
They got pictures to prove it.
Oh my God in heaven. I do like the pattern there. It reminds me of my 1970 sport coat that I used to wear. That with a striped tie or polka dot tie. That was really something nice. Anyway, Ricky, Trailer Park Boy, right?
Yep.
Oh, God, I love those sideburns. My hair won't even grow there either. It's like it picks where it wants to grow. I can't get my goatee to even come out any longer. So I don't know. I get this, so that's it. I'm just so depraved. This one, I want to shout out Brianna Joy Gray as much as I possibly can, because she is a sharp lady. Listen to the last episode of The Intercept's Deconstructed podcast and was disappointed to hear Pramila Jayapal repeat the fiction that Forced the Vote risked McCarthy becoming Speaker and Ryan Grimm failing to protect that. Shanda, Stevie, come on. Will you please give this a shout? What is with this stuff?
Go ahead, Stevie.
It's funny that AOC mentioned that earlier, because she said something about it's like abuse, right? And we've talked about this before. I mean, this is abusive behavior when they are threatening you, and whether the threat is real or not, when in this case, it's obviously not, but they're threatening you with worse. You're either going to do what we say, or you're going to get it. So if you don't want to get hurt, you better do what we say. And at this point, a lot of people don't know how, some of this stuff works. So, a lot of people will believe it and say, well, we don't want something worse. We don't want, but what could be worse than Nancy Pelosi when they're already doing the same thing? I mean, she already is a Republican. I mean, what are you going to threaten us with? Somebody that's not going to give us the stuff that we need? Oh, no. What would we do then?
Right.
Well, this was proven false over and over again. You need a majority. You need a majority to elect the speaker, and we're never going to get any. Well, you're never going to get Kevin McCarthy, and
no, it would have never happened.
Yeah, and Pramila, come on, Pramila. I mean, we've engineered stuff with Pramila before, and it's like, is she controlled opposition against Medicare? Is she, Shanda?
I campaigned for her in 2016. Yeah, I don't even know anymore, Oz. I didn't think that 5 years ago, but I'm starting to question it now.
Yeah, I just and I guess lastly on this Ryan Grimm and the Intercept stuff. I mean, he's been taking a lot of shit lately, deservedly so. But he parsed the intro in such a dramatized way of fear and oh my God, and and he just sets up this segment really with hyper dramatized opinions to manufacture a line of thinking on how people should think about this. This is what they've talked about manufacturing consent in such a bad way. It's brainwashing. And that's all it is. And you have to use your critical thinking. You have to be able to accept facts when you're wrong and speak to those issues. And when you're right, don't let people beat you back. You have to be courageous. Be courageous. And again, if you're willing to admit you're wrong and explain where you went wrong, you have my respect all day long. When you try and double talk and parse the shit like this and that, or change the subject or deflect, you're nothing but a gutless access person, and I don't even call them journalists. I've lost so much respect for Ryan Grim. He was over on the Huffington Post.
Time. I've been telling you he was a shill all summer.
I didn't argue with you, but it's really tough. So I'm doing my other mea culpa today. I was wrong about Ryan Grim being a great journalist. He's just devolved into another accessed wannabe who wants fame, power, and fortune. But he's got mouths to feed. Oh my God, I'm going after somebody. Mouths to feed. Shame
He's
on
got
me.
kids. How dare you attack him?
Oh my God, I didn't attack mouths to feed.
Has anybody responded to that information? Because a lot of people are saying that what you were talking about, but and when they're confronted with the reality of the situation, that's not going to happen. Have they addressed that at all, or do they just go la 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 la? I can't hear you.
Yes, la 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 la. Matter of fact, I've seen that. La 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 la. Yeah, they don't want to hear it, and you're a Trumper. You're a Trumper.
Trumper. How dare
Trumpist.
you Trumpist.
Trumpist. You guys are all brain down. You're Trump supporters. You've been brainwashed by Trump. And I've been brainwashed to the point where I want to vomit every time I see his carcass. But at the same time, ye who are without sin, do not throw the stone, because you guys are worse. And that's been proven over and over again. They're going to give this whole damn thing back to the Republicans, and I think they're going to do it on purpose.
Oh God, they
So
are.
what is this meme stock consultant? Did you bring this?
AOC has not tweeted Medicare for all since December 14th of last year.
Yeah, I wonder why that is.
She doesn't need it anymore. She needed it to win. She needed it to stay there, but she doesn't need it now.
Gee, how many of them did that? Harris did that. She came out for Medicare for all. Pramila. Pramila didn't even bring it to the floor, from what I understand, in one of those circumstances.
Warren, a bunch of them.
And I'll say it again. I said it yesterday. If you are a candidate running for office and you do not support a universal, fully funded, improved healthcare system in this country, i.e. kind of like Medicare for all, don't even bother talking to me, because I'm not only not going to vote for you, I'm going to support the other side just so your ass doesn't get in there, because I know what I'm going to get with them. I know it. They're going to stab me in the face. You're going to stab me in the back. Right. So I hate to be like that. Yeah. So those of you who are actually for Medicare for all and run for office, sincerely, you got my support 100%. And that's just
Don't
where
lay
it is.
off.
Yeah. So lay off. Get out. Get out. This one is Franco. Franco is going to be on the Evening Dive next Monday. We're looking forward to Franco. He's like exploding. So let's hear what he's got to say here. I think this is about the door thing. Here we go.
Look at the names. You got all of the TYT sitting right there with CBS reporters, The Daily Show with Trevor Noah. You literally have all these names sitting right there. So when they all start speaking in unison and just varying it up a little bit, and then, okay, this one will decide to have a different viewpoint this week, and then next week, this one will decide. But if you start paying attention to overall what they're saying, they're all saying the same thing, and they're all pushing a certain narrative. And the fact that they're all working for the same people and receiving a check from the same people and being represented by the same people, come on, people, let's wake up. This isn't that hard to figure out.
Absolutely. I'll follow up on that. And I think
Love that guy's
shout
voice.
out definitely to you, Franco. You've got some big ears listening to Jimmy Dore's chatting here. But no, flat out, these people are trying to either lobby to get jobs on these networks, or they're trying to get some of the money to get funding for this stuff. You know, I said this when Jimmy was pushing the whole force the vote issue. It's mighty ironic for someone like Cenk Uygur or Sam Seder, or probably any of these people who don't have a healthcare struggle, to sit back and tell other people that no, it's not the time to push for healthcare, when you've got people like myself who don't see a doctor on a regular basis. Anytime we've had injuries, we're trying to treat them at home. We still go out. You know, I've had a nagging neck injury and a knee injury for 5+ years now. I can't afford to get a damn thing done about it, and I have to fight through it and go bust my ass somewhere between 40 to 60 hours a week. Meanwhile, they sit there in the comfort of a chair and tell us all not to put pressure on politicians who, in some cases, their little institutions helped get elected, right? And now that they've gotten into politics, they've folded. Instead of sticking to their message, be a one-term congressperson and do the right thing. Now it's no, AOC. I've got my hands on some health care. It's a hell of a lot better than my health care as a bartender. So let me just keep doing what I'm doing right now for myself, and you all can get to it later on. These people are the proverbial wolf in sheep.
Amen.
Wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yep.
Yeah, honestly. And he was referring to, up there in the left-hand corner, my meme is that wolf in sheep's clothing, TYT and the Minority Resort. Yeah, I'm going to fling poo at these guys. I've picked my side. I would love for them to walk into the light, but I think the likes of Cenk Uygur and Sammy Seder are not salvageable. They're not going to come back because Sam Seder's been on the dole for so long, as well as Cenk Uygur. I have no hope for them. And Anna Kasparian's she lives rent-free in her own head. Yeah. So, what do you guys think about that? Was there anything those gentlemen said that you can argue with?
I would watch the full thing. I mean, it's really long. They were on for hours, but I mean, it was a really interesting live stream that they had together. And that guy there, I mean, he made an excellent point.
Yeah.
Cannot argue with a single thing he said there. Now, later on, he was talking about how we can't we can't raise the minimum wage. So I'm just like, you know, a little bit here, a little bit there, but I mean, he's spot on with this for sure.
Yeah, I think he's a libertarian fellow too.
Who was that he was interviewing?
I think his name's Ben. I mean, like I said, I'm just jealous of his hair and his voice, but you know, that's just,
he's got a good voice.
Yeah, he's got a great voice. Yeah, great voice. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was Frank Analysis. Check him out. Follow his channel.
Yeah, and he brings on people. You know, he's been, I'm not saying punching up, but he's been reaching up. No low-hanging fruit with this guy. I mean, I'm really impressed. We're looking so forward to having him on. Him and Ali Alexander are going to be on Monday on the Evening Dive. We had a great show this week with Kit and Ali and Shanda and Amber, and then God, of course, in the background. So, yeah, this is good. Now, I learned something today. I thought tomorrow was Groundhog Day. So
I don't know. I got up and the first headline I saw was that the groundhog saw his shadow and we're getting 6 more weeks of winter.
Yeah. And, you know, I love this face-off that Shanda did of me in Bill Murray's skin. And I just want to say, Ned Ryerson? Ned Ryerson! Boom! I love that. That was great. Thank you, Shanda. I think this is a little payback in a good way for Godzilla versus King Kong.
Yesterday.
Yeah, Shanda got that part in that. She did a terrific job. Go back and watch it last night, about the middle of the show. So we had a lot of fun with that. So we're going to have 6 more weeks of winter in the Pacific Northwest. That's a duh.
Duh.
Anyway, what do we got? We got Richard Wolff, huh?
Richard Wolff talking about the minimum wage.
Oh, shit. This guy's right on, and he is a classmate of Janet Yellen, and he turned out on the right side. Janet Yellen should just get out the Darth Vader mask and get it over with.
Well, let's look. What is the federal minimum wage right now? $7.25.
Oh, that's your Saturn.
That was the last rate increase back in 2009. That's when that was passed. So we're talking 12 years ago. We passed the law that raised it to $7.25. We have not raised it since. Every year since then, prices have gone up. every year. Those are 12 years. But we didn't raise it. The Democrats couldn't, and the Republicans wouldn't raise the minimum. That's one of the reasons economics became more
Democrats
unequal
wouldn't.
in the United States. All the people who can raise their prices for whatever it is they sell did so. But the people who live at the bottom didn't get an increase, even with the cost of living. A terrible blow to anyone's desire for equality. It's so bad that out of the 50 states in the United States, 29 states, that's a majority, have set a state minimum wage above the federal because the federal is so abysmally low. But not all states. There are 2 states where the minimum wage is below the federal wage, as abysmal as it is.
Texas?
Wyoming and Georgia,
Georgia.
have a minimum wage of $5.15 an hour.
God, can you imagine?
No, I can't.
$5.15 an hour?
Yeah.
What is that? What are you supposed to do with that? I mean, what? What do you do with that? I mean, that is shocking.
You can't pay for childcare with that. You can't pay
get to
rent.
work with
You
that.
can't get gas.
I mean,
You can't shop at Walmart with that, and that's scary.
yeah, that's for
right.
sure.
You can't even necessarily pay for the bus to get to work.
Yeah,
I mean, that's mind blowing.
Yeah.
mind blowing.
Yeah, Richard.
That made my brain just short out.
I know.
Richard,
It pissed me off when I heard it.
the irony with this is that Shanda has got Amber herself and me as pharaohs. So maybe, and this one I really like. Don't you think that Amber is perfect for being a sphinx?
Yeah,
like
yeah. She's got the goddess look.
Yeah, and you've got that. Hey, baby, come on over here. Let's do some sphinking. And there's Oz. What am I doing here? So anyway, again, that's great artwork there. I just want to point these out so people know what's going on with this. Now, we're going to do a little international clip here with Glenn Greenwald. And no offense to our Jewish sisters and brothers, but I think he makes some good points here that they should listen to. So, oh my God. I'm bald. What the hell, Shanda? What the hell? That's off limits.
And what is your reaction to something like that?
I mean, obviously, there has always been and continues to be enormous pressure not to speak critically of Israel or the Israel lobby. I think everyone watching your show likely knows that. And I think we've forgotten, because we don't pay that much attention anymore to Israel and Palestine, that there is still a huge taboo. This reporting, it's not groundbreaking, it's not earth-shattering. It's like the standard kind of reporting that decent journalists do to show the financial ties of government officials to people and organizations that have a vested interest in the policies that they're now responsible for supervising. It's just standard financial analysis of people in power that's done every single day. And yet in the case of AIPAC and Israel, these sudden standards, all these new rules arise about how many anonymous sources you're allowed to cite and how many critics you have to include. I would love for those standards to actually apply, but of course they don't. I don't know if you saw, but like earlier this week, Jamal Bowman had also posted a tweet critical of Israel for not providing vaccines to Palestinians. He was absolutely right, saying that under international law, because Israel is an occupying power, they have the responsibility for Palestinian health. And by not doing that, they're turning themselves into kind of a rogue state. And being a member of Congress from New York, that's a huge taboo to say that about Israel. And he just deleted the tweet. I don't know if he provided any commentary about why or has abjectly apologized. I'm sure he will. But it's a good reminder, since we often do forget because other things have subsumed it in importance, that the taboo on speaking critically of Israel.
Yes, Snarky. Oz is upset being made to look like an Iowan. How stylish.
My bad. I should have gave you the character with hair.
Oh my God! Yeah, I know. It's yeah. Well, at least that looks like a big brain. At least maybe. Anyway, that clip. Jamal Bowman's in trouble. He's going to get a timeout for saying that against Israel. So, Stevie's just shaking her head. There's smoke, and it's just like, are you kidding me? Yeah. Like, oh my God. Glenn further goes, this is really short, but I had to let him have the last word. This guy's an actual journalist, one of the few out there, and it's always a pleasure platforming his stuff. So yeah, this is his last little jab out there, per se.
Rail of American politics still, and this proves it. I mean, NBC just quickly, nothing, they didn't say like we reported anything inaccurate.
No.
They just made up bullshit standards that they never otherwise abide by, and then apologized and took the article down. And so,
yeah, that's MSNBS. They make up bullshit standards that they don't even practice. So I don't think I'm going to get an argument from these two ladies. Anybody out there? Bueller. Jesus Christ. Oh my God, you got a picture of me with my brain being excavated. What the hell?
We got sketched. So Elon Musk wired a monkey's brain so it could play video games.
Shit, I love it. How
I don't
nice.
think this is the actual picture, but the story's out there on RT if you want to go to rt.usa.
You know what?
Oh, wow, that's real. It's really happening.
It's real.
It's really happening.
Real scary. It's very sketchy. I hear the song "Shock the Monkey" in my head.
Yeah, right.
It's like, God damn. What will they think of next? They're going to attach me to that. I put this in the other day. I think you lined these up very well. Scientists propose putting nanobots in our bodies to create a global superbrain. All right, what pop culture reference is that? We are the Borg. Resistance is futile. Right. Because the whole concept behind the Borg was having a central intelligence that they all reported to.
That's right. Yeah.
And this is exactly where they want to go. And again,
hive mind.
Yeah, hive mind. That's what it is. So yeah, scientists propose.
But stupid though.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine like being like hooked up to like Mitch McConnell and all of them? It's just like, oh no, don't do that to me.
I don't think the bar is that low yet, but maybe
it's a terrifying thought though.
Yeah,
thank you, Stevie.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, don't do it.
God, looking at the world through Mitch McConnell's eyes. Oh boy, that is a scary thought.
Any of them.
Oh my God, I'm gonna go throw up. That's just terrible. What do we got here? We got Eat the Rich. Did you bring this?
So Meghan McCain had a baby and now realizes that the U.S. needs paid maternity leave. She explained on The View. She says personal experiences helped open her eyes. And somebody on Twitter responds, the conservative EOS distilled. It's not a problem unless it happens to me. And when it does happen to me, I am absolutely outraged that other people let this happen to me.
And the beat goes on. And that's Andy Zeisler, I think that's pronounced. Yeah, and the beat goes. This is nothing new. When these Richies have a problem, oh my God, the world's coming to an end because it happened to me. So, it's like, yeah, and you can bet that Megan's just ready to go to Walmart to get her diapers and her baby formula.
Yeah. Walmart. Yeah, that's where she shops.
That's where she shops. That's where America shops. So
it always reminds me of like that clip from Family Guy where it's got that guy in prison and he's like the murderer and he stabs himself. He's like, oh my gosh, this is what I've been doing to people all this time. I belong in here. It's just like, that's what it's like. Oh man, gosh, that's horrible what I've been doing. Imagine that.
I got to give a shout out to Klaus Schwab. Elon Musk is a good guy. He wants to run all of your brains because he knows better than you people. Oh boy, that's right, Klaus.
I want to be the Borg queen.
Oh shit!
That's your next reface.
It's my next reface.
That did not end well, and yes, we need to get that. With reface, you can upload things and put your face on it. So there's nothing.
I haven't done that yet.
I did it. I'll show you. It's really easy. I did it with I'm Your Huckleberry. So yeah, I uploaded that one. It flickers between Val Kilmer and myself, which I think made it even better. So.
I think it made it look better.
Yeah. So that was a lot of fun. But yeah, we need to. You be the Hive Queen, shit.
I'm going to be the Borg Queen.
I think you and Amber are going to fight over that one. So this is great, Shanda. This is wonderful.
Yeah. I love that you're leading the army.
Oh hell yes! My belly is as round as Napoleon was. I think. So anyway, war against a foreign country happens only when moneyed classes think they are going to profit from it. George Orwell. I love the graphic. Let's put the gas handle in the back of your head, or is he going to pour it on him and light him on fire?
Yeah, more like it.
That's probably what it is. So, is that a police SWAT team, or is that a military personnel? It's kind of a tweener, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of a tweener.
Since they're getting all the outdated
it's probably
gear.
a Blackwater freaking special ops.
Yeah, I think I have a request, Shanda. Let's. Can you do on one of your fashion reports the police through the years?
Yeah.
I think that would be cool, so everybody can see that. So
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah. Anyway, neoliberals be like.
I'm a leftist.
Oh my God! What the hell is
you
my?
and I are all the way down here in the green, and then off the spectrum.
Oh yeah, I put that.
All of us are.
I put that up. God, whose group did I put that up in? And I'm like out in left field. I'm like down here. That's me. So I don't know, but I love that. Is that a pendant? Is that a grandma's pendant? You got my.
You are the
face
Sun King.
I'm the Sun King. Well, not in the Pacific Northwest. I'm more like the mud puddle guy. So that's where we're at. Okay, we're getting towards the end of the show, but we've got to go with the hypocrites of the week. Now, I don't know if you guys saw Jimmy Kimmel the other night, but this was really vomitous.
I try not to.
People in mass media can't stop themselves from beclowning themselves completely whenever it comes to the GameStop story. Latest edition is Jimmy Kimmel, who unironically said that Russians might have been behind the GameStop rally on Wall Street. Let's take a listen.
GameStop, if you don't know, it's a video game store. And like a lot of businesses, they've been struggling because of COVID, but also because most people buy games online now. And yet, despite a sharp decline in sales, over the past 6 months, their stock price has grown by 8,000% because a bunch of amateur investors, maybe even some Russian disruptors who are part of a Reddit community called Wall Street Bets, decided to buy a bunch of GameStop stock.
Fucking Russian bots.
Oh man! Wait, that's the thing. It's like when I told you about it, you're like, "Is he joking?" I was like, "No, it was serious."
No, he's not joking.
He was totally serious. Where did they?
Wasn't part of the routine. He was like really honestly throwing that in. Who was the other person? We saw somebody else
On CNBC. Yeah, it was on CNBC.
CNBC
Talking
has been
points.
a gold mine of these type of clips, but I mean, they've tried everything. They've like tried smearing the people who are on Reddit. Their language is hateful, et cetera, et cetera. We have to take down their Discord server. They've tried this sort of patronizing approach of, we're just worried about them and we don't want these retail investors who really don't understand what's going on here in this big, complicated financial game. We don't want them to get hurt. This is all for their best interest. And then we have also seen things like this floated of like, this isn't even actually a real thing happening. It's all the Russians, because you can blame literally anything apparently on the Russians and be taken seriously. Remember when this reminds me kind of like of when Hillary Clinton floated that maybe Donald Trump was on the phone with Vladimir Putin.
Yes.
During the
on January 6th.
Like, what? How can you just like randomly float these insane things and still be taken seriously? But apparently you can.
Only
keep the narrative going.
Only in America.
Only in America. Can you blame everything on the fucking Russians?
Oh my God. It's just like, give it a rest. But you know what? It shows how many people in this country have lost any semblance of critical thinking. They can't even string this shit together. I mean, it's a stupid grift. And to watch Kimmel sit there, and my parents said, take your hands out of your pockets when you're talking. I think Kimmel was in there. He had his hands in his pocket. What was he doing while he was saying that? Really? Or does that get you off, Jimmy? I mean, really? But that's that class. I mean, Kimmel's worth several $1 million now because of pulling shit like this. So I just
him, Colbert, all of them can go straight to hell.
Yeah. We don't have a Warhawk of the week yet?
No, I haven't picked a Warhawk of the week. It's the same one. The Tony Blinken's been out there just being crazy all fucking week.
Yeah.
So I kind of skipped that. We don't have a wifey. We have local news.
Yeah, I will say that Blinken was out there stomping his foot at Iran this weekend. So they're getting ready to, which was so many of us have been talking about. They're trying to get us into a big one with Iran, but maybe that is too big for them to chew on. What is this Washington State news you got?
Washington State news, yeah. So I'm starting a new segment that'll happen just before Fee says with local stuff, because we have a lot of local stuff that goes on in Washington and Seattle area that we want to bring. And so today I brought a clip from Olympia Housing Now. So they are a homeless activist group that comes together, and they've been, Tacoma did it. They did Tacoma Housing Now, and they get the homeless into hotels via vouchers. They pay for them, whatever. Well, they were SWAT swarmed and arrested in Olympia night before last.
And they parsed it as being a horrible thing on the part of the homeless people.
Yeah. They say the activists were rude and blah, blah, blah. But now they're trying to say that they were combative. And they're combative when you guys are coming out and trying to throw 20, 30 people out on the street.
Yeah. Okay.
First, we go right to breaking news. Police are making arrests after officers say housing activists refused to leave an Olympia hotel. Police also tell us they received reports the group tried to forcibly take over that hotel. Our Tony Black is live in Olympia, right near the Red Lion Hotel. So, Tony, please tell us what's going on.
Yeah, good evening, Vanessa. As of right now, this hotel has been cleared out of anyone who was inside of it, including just regular guests. I can tell you a little bit about what happened here. We're going to recap from the investigation that's currently underway right now. Earlier today, a homeless advocacy group called Olympia Housing Now sent out a release saying that they had taken the Red Lion Motel, saying it was too cold outside for those experiencing homelessness to sleep outside, especially during a pandemic. They reportedly paid for 17 rooms that had about 33 people staying in them. But at some point, Olympia police say they got 911 calls from some of the employees there saying that some of the activists were being aggressive to them.
Aggressive.
When they got here on scene, Olympia police say they saw a group up on the 4th and 5th floors that were placing black tarps on the windows, and they continued to communicate with the employees in the basement and told them to shelter in place. Now, eventually, they were able to clear everyone out of the hotel. They say that the staff was able to get out safely. The city of Olympia, in a release, said their crisis response unit would help find a place for those who were staying in the rooms that were paid for by Olympia Housing Now. They are not letting them stay inside of this hotel. Finally, as I mentioned, there were other guests that were staying here too that were just bystanders. They are all okay and are being taken to other hotels around the area by Olympia police. So that is the latest information that I have for now. We will sure keep you up to date if we learn anything new. I'm Tony Black, King 5 News.
Tony, thank you very much.
These were paid for rooms. Olympia Housing paid for these rooms, and because they felt they were being aggressive, the activists, they threw everybody out.
Everybody. They didn't,
and had them arrested.
They didn't isolate. They didn't find out who was actually maybe having a mental issue or something, but they just took it out on everybody. Okay. Stevie, what were you going to say?
Yeah. I mean, could you be any more vague about, what supposedly went wrong? Aggressive, what does that even mean? They bumped into you by accident? I mean, they didn't say please and thank you? I mean, so what? I mean, if they would have done something bad enough, like let's say physically violent or something like that, they would have said that. But aggressive,
right.
Aggressive
was
means
assaulted
nothing.
or
Yes, aggressive means nothing. It's just a way of, just who cares about these people, right?
This is a narrative. This is a narrative because the activists in Washington State are starting to be successful at getting these homeless into these hotels via putting pressure on these hotels. You got open rooms. We got money. We'll pay you. Let them stay here, that type of thing. So they want to knock this down by this narrative is what it is. And the comment section under this King 5 post was the most god-awful fucking thing I have ever seen. Somebody actually said, well, it's not that cold out. Like, are you fucking kidding me? They are human beings. Are you kidding?
And they don't know.
I'm embarrassed of our country.
Yeah.
I know.
It's too much.
Like you pointed out last night, Shanda, it's not that cold out for what kids were there, what elderly people were in there. Yeah. I mean, My wife and I, we have to wear jackets and coats in our house because we've got a shitty heating setup that I'm going to work on this summer, guys. And don't give me any money to fix it. It's just something that the system's old here. But to take people and basically kick them out on the street, and I know that reporter said that they're trying to find placement for those people, but couldn't they have reported or found out if they were really trying to get some sort of
they don't care.
They don't care. Just get out in the middle in the evening at night. I'm not going to say in the middle of the night, but night. You get them out and everything else. There has to be, if you're trying to tell me that every single one of those people was being rude or being whatever
aggressive,
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I would, if, without a place to say, common sense would tell me that I have a place that's being paid for. I'm going to do my best to maintain my shit unless I have a mental issue, because I get a hot shower and a bed to sleep in and it's being paid for. Yep. So I'm not buying this shit. I'm not buying it whatsoever. And maybe I'm going to be totally wrong and they were all like murderous people from Russia. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, they were Russians.
They were Russians. But yeah, so anyway, good report. And I want to just go back to the van here. We're going to show you. I'm going to snap a picture of what the van really looks like, and then you can say, "Well, here's 50 cents, Oz. You can fix it up." But I will have that this week at some point. I want to show you what the van really looks like. We've got a wipey. We don't have a wipey. Oh, it's just Fee Says.
Just Fee Says. Okay. And hey, you guys, hit those thumbs up. We always forget to ask you guys to hit the thumbs up. It does help us. So.
Yeah. It makes us somehow kind of legitimate, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Go ahead.
YouTube will never legitimize us, and that's fine because YouTube is a dying breed, killed by themselves. Yeah, they committed suicide with their Orwellian or authoritarian censorship. But so you can follow us over on Rockfin, ROKFIN. Go set up an account for free, or for $10 a month, you can sub to anybody and catch all of the premium content over on the Rockfin.
And we're 80 away from 1,000. So if you can go over there and sub through us, sign up and follow us. Please follow any of our friends, but it would be nice if you could sub through us. But if you want to sub through somebody else, that's fine too. Just follow all of our sisters and brothers out there that are speaking truth to power. So Fee Says what?
Fee says the 1% corporations and Wall Street billionaires are the biggest fascists and perpetuate the conditions for the existence of fascism.
Do you want to define fascism again so we all know?
Systemic, governmental, those in control of the state.
Merging with corporations. That's exactly what it is. And that's what we have. We have a corporate fascist state. And they are trying to give more fascism abilities to the mass media through censorship. Yep. That's just they
already have.
There's no don't even argue with me, because when you go out there like Newsbleak and promote stories that Joe Biden it was not $2,000 checks. And by the way, Newsbleak had to change the title of that and some of the wording in that because they got it broke off in their eye because they were blatantly lying. So that was good. I'm glad they did. But you won't notice because they just changed a couple of words around to try and legitimize their vague bullshit narrative about how, the Biden didn't say that. So anyway, here's to Fee, and here's to my wonderful co-host today. I want to thank Stevie. Stevie, you going to be back next week if you can?
Stevie on.
Oh, yeah.
And I sent Keith Hayes one, but I didn't give him a heads up yesterday, so I apologize, Keith. Invitation. I will definitely try and get a hold of you in the meantime. And anybody else that wants to become on a panel, send an email to roarmedialive@gmail.com and say, hey, where's the beef, man? I want to be on the panel.
Where's the beef?
Where's the beef? What are we going out with today?
We are going out with a crazy banjo cover called Old Leather Stocking, Death and the Lady Clinton Hicks.
Oh my God, that's a long title. Oh, announcements. Now Ron is having Joy on today, or
yes, Lee Camp's going to be on there too.
and Lee Camp and Joy, Savage Joy, and we've got Women's Wednesday tomorrow. And Stevie, I hope you're joining us tomorrow. I'm going to see if Allie can. I don't think she can, but I'm going to ask her anyway. And Christine, the Natural Progressive, she's going to let me know today. And then we've got, you have an interview with Hunter Boyce
on Thursday, and then I'm recording my segment for Heartlands Media on Thursday, and it should drop Friday.
Terrific. I can't wait. That's going to be terrific. And then we have hopefully Sima Hernandez and Steven Scapoletti Friday night. That's still up in the air. I need to get confirmation today. They're going to have a show, and I don't know what the name of the show is yet. She was working on it. It's looking good. And Amber King is going to be talking to, is it Shirley Chisholm's grandmother or?
Yes.
Yeah, or aunt, or yeah. So that would be Friday night. And then, of course, Beauty and the Boomer, Saturday night. I'm going to try and have a drink this week. I haven't had a drink in a month.
Yeah, no, you haven't drank.
No, I know. But last week it was impossible because I had hair in my mouth and my nose and ears and everything else. That was a tough one. Yeah, Stevie, do you have any announcements?
None right now.
Okay, and you did
I'm just looking forward to everything y'all got coming up. I mean, there's a lot in progress right now, so
okay.
There is
stuff.
Okay, and your channel is Redneckonomics, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh. And check out partyexodus.org. That's our website, our nonprofit that we're working on to take the power away from the parties and give it back to the people as it should be.
And James is Manitalk, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yep.
That's terrific. Check those all fine channels out and shows. Yep. So anyway, we're going to be out of here and run over and see Kevin if you haven't already. Old Leatherneck Stockings, Death and the Lady Clinton Hicks. Jesus Christ, that's a hell of a mouthful there. Anyway, say goodbye to everybody. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
See you later,
Bye,
Gators. Have a great day. Thank you so much, everybody.
I walked out one winter day. I met a man along the way. His head was bald, his beard was gray, his clothing made of the cold red clay, his clothing made of the cold red clay. I said, old man, what happened to you? What country did you belong unto? My name is Death, I've come for thee. All kings and princes bow down to me. All kings and princes bow down to me. I'll give you pearls, I'll give you fine silk robes to wear. If you will grant me one season more and give me some time, my life to amend. Give me some time, my life to amend. I want no gold, I want no pearls, I want no fine silk robe to wear. I cannot grant you a season more, nor give you some time, your life to amend, nor give you some time, your life to amend. days later, that lady died. Carve this upon my tomb, she cried. As I am now, you'll be one day. Your clothing made of the cold red clay. Your clothing made of the cold red clay.